Well, economist Seng Wun joins us now from Singapore to discuss Trump's announcement. Thanks so much for joining us. First, help us understand from your perspective who wins and who loses here if this deal is derailed.
I think probably Mr. Trump fails to understand, the scope and depth of the TPP. So it's just not covered trade, but about investment, about protection of intellectual property rights itself. So I think, interestingly, the biggest loser itself could very well be the US itself, while the biggest winner is one of the countries who is not inside the TPP, the Chinese, who probably will be very happy now looking to sign up and join trade agreement, essentially to lower entry of barriers or to trade, to investment, essentially the services side, which is, I think, going to be the key driver of growth for many of the economies, even within the region itself.
Explain that a little further. I mean, because this trade deal was seen as serving as a counterweight to China's economic power, but China might actually be cheering.
Indeed, that's the irony in which I think where we do see, obviously, for many of the countries, the 12 countries who had signed on, well, 11 if we excluded the US itself, that they will have the opportunity of, obviously, US and Canada as the biggest market from which they can sell not just goods to, but for the US service provider to be coming through into the 11 other countries itself, and have the intellectual property rights protected. And if there's any dispute, there would be a state investor kind of settlement itself. So it actually would have protected American interests and given them more opportunity at the same time as well. Obviously, for countries like Singapore, who already has a bilateral agreement with the US on the trade front, on FTA front itself, it would have benefited indirectly from, say, countries like Vietnam, who has bigger and larger access into the US economy itself. But what it also means at the same time is Chinese along the way, together with its earlier initiative of One Belt, One Road, would have a far easier time in terms of talking to countries or blocs about lowering barrier of trade and investment.
Do you think there's any chance of reviving this without US participation, though?
Well, obviously, the biggest markets for all the countries who sign on would be the North American market itself, which obviously includes Canada, US, and Mexico. But all is not lost. So what it basically means, again, coming back to Singapore, who has bilateral agreement with almost all of them, except Canada and Mexico, is extra work of having to go down that bilateral route again. So it creates additional work for trade negotiator to start almost from scratch again. But we do have regional track pack here, such as the Regional Economic RCEP, Regional Economic Comprehensive Partnership itself, which includes China as well as the 10 ASEAN countries, plus the developed markets of Japan and Korea as well. So that itself gives them the onus then to say, okay, if TPP is not on the table now, let's get on and deal with it as I suppose a shrinkage of opportunity in the US.
Okay. Seng Wun, thank you so much for joining us from Singapore.